Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I am really excited today because I've literally not filmed anything for about 3 or 4 weeks. So it's really great to be back and to be filming some new stuff. Also welcome to, I had a real influx of new subscribers, so hello to you guys and welcome to our channel, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, today I'm going to be talking about, we're doing testing makeup basics, and I'm looking at concealers. Now, if you have been following the series, I will link up the primers that I've done already and the full coverage foundations, and now I'm on to concealers. So I think you can work out I'm kind of like going down the face gradually. So look out, my next one I'll be doing will be mascaras, but today we're going to be looking at concealers. All right, so the concealers that we're going to be looking at are just 4. Now, I got the feedback from my last 2 videos that 5 is just a bit too much, so I thought I'd just do 2 high-end and 2 low-end this time. Now, the 4 ones we're going to look at, now the 2 budget-friendly ones are the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer and the Bourjois Healthy Mix concealer. So they're the 2 that I'm going to be looking at for on a kind of budget friendly. And on the high end, I'm looking at the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer and the Urban Decay, can't remember what it's called, it's in my makeup bag over there, concealer, but you'll see the picture here, it'll pop up when I've said it. And that concealer that we're looking at. So they're all liquid concealers. They all have defo, is it defo?
No, no, no. No! No, 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 no!
How does one say it? Defo?
No! No! What? No!
Defo.
Dough.
Applicators. So I thought that would be a bit more fair to keep it across the board. And they all promote radiance. So I've kept it in that kind of category. So let's now get on with the video.
Okay, so concealer-wise, I'm going to be using the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer. Now, I've used this for quite a while. It's been on the market since last year. It is one of my favourite high-end concealers, and I'm pretty much at the end. But I thought I will feature this as one of the high-end products because it's really worthy of a place in the trial, in the reviews it was. Now, I have honey as my colour to get rid of the blueness underneath, and then this is when I was in my major kind of highlighting under my eye stage. I'm not so into it anymore, so I have got this in Chantilly, the other one, which is the lightest that Nars does. For me now it's far too light, and I feel like it's too much, but for the sake of I've gone on to a vanilla now, but I thought I'd just show you. So I can't really use this for blemishes because it's just too light, and you're going to end up going, putting like a beacon of light. So that's why it's really difficult with concealers, because you end up needing 2 different ones. If you like the brightness under your eyes, then you need to be making sure that you use quite a light one. And then if you have any blemishes, you want to be making sure that you use your own skin colour. Now, the consistency of this is very creamy, it's very radiant, it has slight particles in that give you that radiant look without looking shimmery. It's very lightweight, so it's brilliant for those of us who are the more mature skin that have the fine lines. It doesn't sit into any of those. Okay, so the liquid concealer I'm using today is the Wake Me Up Rimmel Concealer. Now, this is an anti-fatigue liquid concealer, and I've got it in the shade Ivory, and it comes with a little doe foot. I mean, I've got to use it underneath my eyes. It's quite peachy base, which is quite nice for under my eyes because I have darkness. And let's see how it performs. I'm just going to put that around my nose, and then on my blemishes. I never put that directly on my blemishes. I take it out, pop it on the back of the hand. So I've got quite a few blemishes to cover as per normal. and it's doing a nice job actually. It's covering them quite nicely. I like the consistency of this. It feels very lightweight, it feels very thin. So that to me means that, you know, you can lends itself more to being more buildable, which is really good when you're trying to cover quite a large breakout. Normally, really, I would never use a liquid concealer to cover breakouts, but for the sake of this experiment, for a lot of people, like obviously because I'm a complete diva when it comes to makeup, I have a concealer for my under eyes, I have a concealer for my blemishes, I have a concealer to cover redness, you know, so I, obviously being a makeup artist, I have different types, but the average Joe wouldn't invest that amount in their makeup to have a concealer that does every single job. So I'm using it in a way where most people would use it in the way that they just want one to do the whole job. So yeah, that's covered really nicely. Can you just see, you can only just see the outline of my pimples, the redness is gone, it's covered it nicely, it's blended really nicely. So that's a really nice, and it's blending very nicely under my eyes. I'll be interested to see whether it creases. It's not sitting in my fine lines, which are around here around my eyes. It's not sitting in that at all. So that's a really nice concealer. And obviously with the kind of peachy colour that it has with the ivory, it's got more of a peach tone in there. That really has kind of brightened up the eyes, ready for the rest of my makeup. So yeah, that's nice. Today I'm going to be trialing the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. Now, this concealer is heavy duty. I would say very, very heavy duty. And I do have it in the shade Fair Neutral. Now the shades are really odd, and you are better off. I'm just going to put on a little bit of the Nars Ginger just on my dark circles here, just to give me a bit of it, because this one is super, super pale, this Urban Decay one. And I'm just going to pop this on underneath. Otherwise, if I just stuck this light one straight on top of my blue circles, it would just go so ashen and I would look very, very grey underneath instead of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, which that's the look we're going for. So this here is the one I'm going to use. Now I have got it in Fair Neutral, so I've stuck more on the kind of yellowy side, and less is more. I find with this concealer, less is more. Now I will use it to hide my spots, which just remember, take your although I do feel it's far too light for that, but for the sake of testing purposes, if you were going to go for a concealer that was just your skin colour and you just wanted to use that, you didn't want to brighten under the eye, you're not bothered about that kind of stuff, because some people don't have to brighten under their eyes. Some people are naturally already lovely and bright under those eyes. So if you got this one in your own sort of skin colour, it'd be good, wouldn't it, to see how well it covers blemishes, because it's very, very ultra smooth, ultra hydrating. I find it really hydrating under the eyes. It does crease slightly, so that's why I said really be light-handed under the eyes if that's what you suffer with. And if you are of a more mature skin, you know, less is more. Okay, so just putting that all over, and that's going on really, really nicely. That is super. Oh, hang on. That is super coverage. So you can still see the blemish. Okay, onto the concealer I'm using today is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Concealer. And I've got it in the shade Light 51. So this is the anti-fatigue, so it should help me not look so tired. So that the formulation is exactly the same smell as the foundation has, and this is very yellowy. Can you see how yellowy it is? It's really yellow, so that's great for brightening under the eyes. The formulation feels very nice. It's very creamy, it's very easy to apply, but I'm always very wary of applying these kind of liquid liquid concealers on more of kind of your acne area, because liquid is more lightweight than a cream, and you tend to have to, it doesn't last as long. This feels very nice. The testing, they really are kind of like piece de resistance with this is if it stays on all day and keeps your spots covered. But so far, I mean, it's nice. It is very, very yellow though. Verging on jaundice with this, really. So when you get that, you really need to kind of I'd be adding a lot of bronzer with this, which kind of defeats the whole object, doesn't it? You're kind of piling more makeup on to hide something else. But the colour range with the Bourjois Radiance range, is it Radiance? Healthy Mix, sorry, I'm talking about Nars Radiance Creamy Concealer, aren't I? Isn't so great. So that's blended really nicely. You can still see my breakout slightly here, so it hasn't covered my acne as well as I'd like it to, but yeah, it's very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to pile a load of bronzer on because I'm feeling quite jaundiced with this, but it has blended in very nicely on top of my foundation.
Okay, so that was me trialing those 4 different types of concealers, and they all had kind of quite mixed reviews on each one of them. So first of all, I will start with the budget friendly ones, and the first one, Bourjois Healthy Mix. Now, from first impressions, the packaging's really cute. It's nice and compact, and it's slightly smaller. It's the smallest concealer out of the 4 that really was just very small in packaging. And now let's look at the bad side first. First, it's very yellow toned, really yellow. I was verging on Simpsons at one point with how yellow it is. Now I know that it's all about brightening and for the radiance, but for me it was very yellow. So you could, if you are slightly warmer in skin tone, you would start to actually look a little bit sallow. So you would look very yellow. And no one wants to look jaundiced. It's not a look we want to go for, is it? And if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes of what I wrote for each one that I liked. It does have really good coverage. The smell of it's really great because it's got all those vitamins in there. And it also covered spots quite well. Now in the footage you'll see that I had an awful outbreak of acne during that time of trialing, so it was quite a good time to trial concealers. Now although these concealers are not really specifically designed to cover spots, it was good to kind of use it in all areas to see if it kind of, you know, you could possibly only get away with one concealer. And I felt with this one, although it was yellow toned, it did cover the spot really well, and it did last a nice amount of time during the day. Obviously by tea time, so we're talking 4:30, 5 o'clock. You know, I have children, we have tea quite early, okay, so tea time's early for us. It wasn't there anymore. It was, I didn't look like a mess, but it wasn't covering like it should do, and you could see my dark circles had come through. So there is no longevity with this one, which is disappointing, but obviously for what you pay for it, which you would have seen below of how much it goes for, you have to weigh that up and see if that's best for you. The second one was the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. This is a very thin consistency. It had a very peachy undertone, which was really nice for me, with very blue and dark under the eyes. And it really helped to kind of cover that up and to brighten the whole area, which was really nice. It didn't sit in my fine lines. I do have fine lines around here. I am 37, girls, come on, give me a break. You know, it's going to show at some point, isn't it? And it's round the eyes where you smile more, that's where it's going to sit. It didn't sit in the Matoy, it blended really nicely, and it was very lightweight. My bugbear with it is that it doesn't last at all. You know, we're talking like mid-afternoon, if you're particularly sweaty, and some people get, I do, I've got very oily under the eyes and very oily on the eyelids, and if I don't prime top and bottom, then you're going to get this kind of, it sweats, it starts to break up a bit, and you kind of lose that whole radiant kind of look that you're going for. It's gone. You just look like an oil slick. Now this tended to just disintegrate. So it was like my skin ate it up and just absorbed it, and it was gone. So that was my main bugbear about that the longevity was poo. It was not good at all. Even if you set it with powder, which does add a little bit of longevity onto it, but nah, I didn't really like it at all. So now onto the high end, the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. Now this is very lightweight. It's great for mature skin. I find this so super on my clients that are maturer and they need a little bit more of a lighter coverage, but they still need a full coverage. It sits on the skin really well. It doesn't sit into the fine lines. It really brightens up that whole eye area. It covers spots really well. I really like this. I may come across very biased with it, but it does exactly what you want it to do. Now, if you're a girl with no dark circles, with no spots, and you're only using concealer to brighten that eye area because you look a bit tired and you just want that extra bit of coverage, you could pretty much get away with any of these concealers, and I really wouldn't waste your money on buying anything that was more expensive. If you have dark circles, then you want to go specifically for the Nars Creamy Radiance Concealer. Just because it just covers the best, covers the nicest. If you are mature eye, you want to go for the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, because it's the one that sets the nicest and doesn't sit in fine lines, and you've got the longevity. It's all about the longevity for me. I want it, when I put my makeup on, I want it to last until at least when I finish work, so say tea time-ish. I want it to last till then. I don't want to be reapplying it again at lunchtime and then again later on. I don't want to do that. I haven't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't mind touching up and putting a little bit of powder here and there, but to start getting my concealers out, and I just think, no, I just want it to last. This is what you've got. So you get what you pay for. My last concealer is the Urban Decay one. Now this is a very thick consistency. It is beautiful in colour. You can get some really good shades and some good shade matches, and then above, you know, if you want to really brighten that eye area, using a lighter one. I do find it a little bit heavy for my mature clients, so if you are slightly older and you do have some of your fine, beautiful fine lines, then maybe steer clear from this because it is quite heavy going. If you're suffering with severe acne, this could really help you using it in liquid form. Necessarily, I tend to stick to creams for acne because you get a better coverage, but liquid form, this runs quite well, and it will do a fairly decent job if you've got it in your same skin tone colour. But if we're just talking really for under the eyes, then this is really, I would say, for the younger, this kind of heavy under eye makeup that all these girls just love at the moment. They don't want to see any of their real skin. Then that you can go for that, and that will work for you very well. That's a really good under eye concealer. Let's round up. All right, so instead of saying what number one is what I rate the highest, which for me would be the Nars Radiance Creamy Concealer, then it would be the Bourjois Healthy Mix, then it would be Urban Decay, and then the last one would be, I've forgotten, Rimmel Wake Me Up. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it informative. Don't forget, my next one is going to be mascaras that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment below which one you have used or which one you're going to use, or whether you disagree with me and whether you think that, you know, the Bourjois Healthy mix is the best, or Rimmel Wake Me Up is the best, and you know, let me know what you think. And so don't forget to click that subscribe button. I'm going to show up here, and oh, hang on, which side? Well, do you know what? I'll put myself everything here, and you know, you're going to see my last video, and you know, why don't you have a watch? I'm just going to wait here, and I'm going to let you watch it. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care, bye.